Welcome to Sleep Story. Let the soothing cadence of a story weave through your consciousness, lulling your body to rest and your mind to tranquility as you drift into dreams on the wings of imagination.
Cao Cao's generals, since Zhong Liao and outside, only Su Huang and Yun Chong friendship, the rest are also respected. Only Tsai Yong does not serve the Lord of Guan, so today heard that he want to go to catch up with. Cao Yong said, "Do not forget the old master. Come and go to understand, true husband also. You and others should follow." Shuai scolded back Tsai Yong, "Do not let go to catch up." Cheng Yu said, "The Prime Minister treats Guan very generous. Now they go without saying goodbye. Nonsense words, piece of kozo. Blasphemy Zhengwai. Its crime is great. If the vertical make return to Yuan Shao, is with the tiger to add wings also. It is not better to chase and kill, in order to eliminate future problems." Caviar said, "I have promised in the past. How can I lose faith? They are their own masters, do not chase." Because said Zhong Liao said, "Cloud long seal, gold hanging seal. Wealth and bribes do not move its heart, not to move its will. Such people I deeply respect. I think he is not far from here. I have a hair to recognize him as a personal favor. You can first go to invite him to stay, to wait for me to send off with him, but also to the road fee levy robe gift." So that after the diary read, Zhong Liao led the way, riding first. Cao Cao led dozens of riders to follow. But Yun Chong's red hair horse, 1,000 miles a day, could not catch up. Because he wanted to escort the chariot, he did not dare to vertical horse, press the bridle and walk slowly. Suddenly, I heard someone behind me yelling, "Yun Chong, slow down." Turning back to see Zhong Liao pat horse and arrived. Guangong taught the car from the people. Just look at the main road tight line. Their own strangled red hair horse, said the green dragon sword, asked, "When Yuan is not trying to chase me back?" Yao said, "No, the Prime Minister knows brother far away, want to come to see off. Special first make me please stay Taiwan driving. No other intention." Guangong said, "It is the Prime Minister's Iron Horseman. I am willing to fight to the death." So he stood his horse on the bridge and looked. See Cao Cao lead dozens of riders, galloping forward. Behind is Su Chu, Su Wong, Yu Ban, Li Dian generation. When Cao Cao saw Guangong standing on the bridge with his sword, he ordered all the generals to stop their horses and line up on the left and right. Guangong see all the hands are not weapons, then assured. Cao said, "Yun Chong line why too fast?" Guangong on the horse owed a reply. Guan Mo had reported to the Prime Minister. Today, the late Lord in Hebei cannot help a certain not hurry to go. Tired of building the house, not to see, so worship book resignation, sealing gold hanging seal, no return to the Prime Minister. Hope that the Prime Minister do not forget the words of the past. Fox said, "I want to win the trust in the world." And Ken has negative words. Fear of generals on the way to lack of use, special road funds to send. A general will be from the horse to support over a plate of gold. Guangong said, "I am grateful for the gift. There is still money. Keep this gold to reward the soldiers." Cavity said, "Special little reward for great work in the unlikely event that. Why should you excuse yourself?" Guangong said, "A small amount of work, what to mention?" Fox said with a smile, "Yan Chong the world of righteousness. Hate my blessing is thin, not to stay. Brocade robe a collar, a little show of heart, make a general dismounted. Hands holding the robe over. Yun Chong afraid of other changes. Do not dare to get off the horse. With the tip of the blue dragon sword, pick brocade robe on the body. The horse turned back to say thank you, moan Prime Minister to give the robe. The other day more to meet. So he went down to the bridge to look north and go. Su Chu said, this person is too rude. Why not capture it? Fox said, he's a personal ride. I dozens of people. How can I not suspect? My words are out, not to chase. Cao Cao led the generals back to the city. In the road, sighing thinking about Yuan Chong. Not to mention Cao Cao's return. Guangong came to drive the chariot. He travelled about 30 miles, but he was nowhere to be seen. Yuan Chong panicked and looked around with his horse. Suddenly, he saw a man on a hill, shouting, General Guan, stop. Yuan Chong raised his eyes to see, only to see a young man, yellow scarf and brocade clothes, holding a gun across the horse hanging under the neck of the head of a head, leading more than 100 foot soldiers, galloped forward. Gong asked, who are you? The young man abandoned his gun and dismounted from his horse, and fell to the ground in obeisance. Yuan Chong, fearing that it was a fraud, strangled his horse and held a sword and said, Strong man, I would like to know your name. Answer, I am from Xiangyang. My surname is Liao. My name is Hua. And my character is Yuanjian. Because of the world's chaos in the jungle, gathered more than 500 people, looting for a living. Just companion Du Yuan down the mountain on sentry duty. Mistakenly robbed the two ladies on the mountain. I asked the follower, I know is the great Han Liu Hongshu wife, and heard that the general escorted here. I want to send down the mountain. Du Yuan spoke out of turn and was killed by a certain person. Today to offer head and general to ask for forgiveness. Guangong said, where are the two ladies? He said, now in the mountain. Guangong taught to take down the mountain in a hurry, not to move time. More than 100 people clustered, car battles come. Guangong dismounted and stopped his sword, crossed his arms in front of the car and greeted, to sister-in-law frightened or not. The second wife said, if not for General Liao to protect, has been Du Yuan humiliated. Mr. Guan asked, how can Liao Hua save Mrs. Liao? The left and right said, Du Yuan robbed on the mountain. Want and Liao Hua each share a wife. Liao Hua asked about the root cause of the good life worship. Du Yuan did not comply, has been killed by Liao Hua. On hearing this, Guangong thanked Liao Hua. Liao Hua wanted to send Guangong with one of his men. Liao Hua wanted to give him a gift of one of his men. But Guangong thought that this man was a remnant of the yellow turbans and could not be his companion, so he thanked Liao Hua for the gift. Liao Hua also gave him some gold and silk, but Guangong did not accept it. Liao Hua said goodbye and led his companions to the valley. Yuan Chong told his sister-in-law about Cao Cao's gift of robes and urged the car to move forward. At night, he went to a village to rest. The owner of the village came out to welcome. White hair, asked, General, what is your name? Guangong salute said, I am Liu Zhuandi's brother Guanmo also. The old man said, is it Guangong who beheaded Yan Liong and Wen Shu? The old man said, yes, I am. The old man was very happy and invited him to enter the village. Guangong said, there are two more ladies in the car. The old man then called his wife and daughter out to meet him. The two ladies to the grassy hall. Guangong crossed his arms and stood on the side of the two ladies. The old man asked him to sit down, and he said, your sister-in-law is here. How dare you sit down? The old man is to make his wife and daughter to invite the two ladies into the inner room hospitality. From the grassy hall hospitality Guangong, Guangdong asked the old man's name. The old man said, "My name is Hu, name Hua. He was a counselor at the time of Emperor Wang, but returned to his hometown. Now I have a son, Hu Ban, who is working under Wang Zi, the governor of Xinjiang. If you pass through here, I will send a letter to him," Guangdong promised. The next day after breakfast, pleased his sister-in-law on the car, took the letter Hu Hua, goodbye and walk, take the road to Luoyang. We arrived at a pass named Dongling Pass. The gatekeeper, surnamed Kong, named Zhu, led 500 soldiers to guard on the ridge. On that day, Mr. Guan escorted his chariot to the bridge, and the sergeant reported to Kong Zhu, who came out to meet him. The general dismounted from his horse and saluted with Kong Zhu, Shou said. "General, why go?" He said, "I resigned from the Prime Minister and went to Hebei to look for my brother." Zhu said, "Yuan Shao in Hebei is the Prime Minister's rival. If you go there, you'll get a diploma from the Prime Minister." Gong said, "Because of the travel schedule panic, did not ask for." Shou said, "There is no diploma. To be I sent people reported to the Prime Minister. Can be released," Guangdong said. "To go to report. Must miss my trip," Shou said. "Law constraints have to be so." Guangdong said, "You do not allow me to pass." Shou said, "You want to go through. Leave the old and young as a hostage." Guangdong was furious, raised his sword to kill Kong Zhu. Shou retreated into the pass to go, sounding the drum to gather the army. Hanging on the horse, killed down the pass, shouting, "You dare to go through it." Guangdong about the retreat car battle, horse with a sword, not even talk, straight to Kong Zhu. Zhu stood up his gun to meet. The two horses met, only one, steel sword up, Kong Zhu corpse across the horse. "The army will go." Guangdong said, "Soldiers do not go. I kill Kong Zhu, have no choice but to do. And you have nothing to do. Through the mouth of your army, pass the word to Prime Minister Cao. Said Kong Zhu want to harm me. I therefore kill." The troops all worshipped in front of the horse, Guangdong, that is to invite the two Mrs. Car battle out of the customs, looking at Luoyang into the hair. A soldier reported to the governor of Luoyang, Hanshou. Hanshou quickly gathered the generals to discuss. General Ming said, "Since there is no diploma from the Prime Minister, it is a private trip. If we don't stop it, we will be held accountable." Hanshou said, "Guangdong is brave and fierce, Yan Liang, and Wen Shu were killed. Today, we cannot force the enemy, but only design to capture it." Meng Tan said, "I have a plan. The first will be the antlers to stop the pass. When he arrives, I will lead the troops," and he fought, feigned defeat to lure him to chase. The public can be shot with hidden arrows. If Guan falls off his horse, he will capture Sudu and will be rewarded. When the discussion was over, people reported that Guangdong's chariot had arrived. Hanshou bent his bow and inserted arrows, led 1,000 men and horses, lined up at the entrance of the pass, and asked, "Who is coming?" Guangdong immediately owed a word. "I Hanshou Ting Ho Guan Mo. Dare to borrow the road," Hanshou said. "Cao Prime Minister diploma or not?" Guangdong said, "The matter of redundancy did not ask for." Hanshou said, "I was ordered by the Prime Minister, guarding this place, specializing in cross-examination of the spies. If there is no diploma, that is to flee," Guangdong said angrily. "Dongling Kong Zhu has been killed by me." "You also want to seek death," Hanshou said. "Who will capture with me?" Meng Tan out of the horse. "We'll double sword to take Guangdong." Guangdong about to retreat from the chariot battle. Pat horse to meet. Meng Tan did not fight for 3 rounds, turned back his horse and left. Guangdong rushed to him, Meng Tan only hoped to lure Guangong, but he didn't want to catch up with Guangong's fast horse, so he just slashed his horse and cut it into 2 pieces. Hanshou flashed at the door and shot an arrow, hitting him in the left arm. Public Mouth pulled out the arrow. Blood flow cannot stop. Flying Horse ran to Hanshou, rushed to disperse the army. Hanshou hurried to go too much. Guangong hands up, knife down, with the head and shoulder, chopped under the horse. Kill scattered troops, protect the chariot. Guangong cut the silk to bind the arrow wound, and on the road for fear of backstabbing, did not dare to stay long, and threw himself into the Bishui Pass in the night. The general of the pass is a native of the state of Bingzhou, surnamed Bian, named Shi, good at making meteor hammers. He was originally a remnant of the Yellow Turbans, who later joined Cao Cao, and was assigned to guard the pass. When he heard that Guangong would arrive, he thought of a plan. In the Zhengguo temple in front of the gate, he would ambush more than 200 axemen and lure Guangong to the temple, and then he would hit the Marquis as a signal to harm him. Arrangements have been finalized out of the customs to meet Guangong. Gong saw Bianxi to meet, then dismounted to meet. Bianxi said, "General's name is famous in the world. Who does not respect? The fact that he has returned to his uncle shows his loyalty." Guangong told him about the beheading of Kongzhu and Hanfu. Bianxi said, "General killed them. I will see the Prime Minister and tell him what I want to hear." Mr. Guan was very happy, so he got on his horse, crossed the Bishui Pass, and dismounted in front of the Zhengguo temple. The monks greeted him by ringing the bell. It turned out that the Zhengguo temple is the imperial incense house of Emperor Ming of Han Dynasty, and there are more than 30 monks in this temple. There is a monk, but Guangong fellow townspeople, French name Pu Jing. At the moment Pu Jing know its intention, forward, and Guangong inquiry, said, "General away from Pudong a few years ago." Guangong said, "Will in 20 years." Pu Jing said, "Still recognize the poor monk." Gong said, "I have been away from home for many years. I cannot recognize." Pu Jing said, "The poor monk's house is only a river away from the general's house." Bianxi Pu net narrative out of the countryside. Fear of leakage, was scolded and said, "I want to invite the general to the banquet." You monks how to say more, Guangong said. Otherwise, villagers meet and cannot recount the old feelings. Pu net please Guangong abbot to stay tea. Guangong said, "Two ladies in the car can first offer tea." Pu Jing teach to take tea first for Mrs., and then invited Guangong into the abbot. Pu Jing raised his hand to the sword and looked at the Duke of Guan with his eyes. Gong will know. Order the left and right to follow with the sword. Bianxi invited Guangong to a banquet in the Dharma Hall. Guangong said, "Bianjun please Guan Mo, is good intentions or bad intentions?" Bianxi not yet back. Guangong early look at the wall clothes in the knife and axe hand. Is a big drink, Bianxi said. "I think you are a good person and dare to do so." Bianxi knew that the matter is leaked, yelled, around the hand. The left and right want to do it, where Guangong pulled out his sword to cut. Bianxi went down the hall and walked around the corridor, and Guangong abandoned his sword and took a big knife to catch up. Bianxi secretly took a flying hammer and threw it at him. Guangong separated the hammer with his sword and rushed into the hall, splitting Bianxi into 2 pieces. Then he turned back to look at his sister-in-law, who was surrounded by soldiers, who ran away when they saw Guangong coming. Guangong rushed to disperse. Thank Pu Jing said, "If not for my teacher, has been this thief is harmed." Pu Jing said, "Poor monk here is difficult to tolerate. Pack up the mantle, but also to other places to cloud travel also. We will meet again. General, take care. Mr. Guan thanked him and escorted the chariot to Xingyang. Wang Zi, the governor of Xingyang, was a relative of Han Fu. He heard that Guangong had killed Han Fu, so he tried to assassinate Guangong and had his men guard the pass. When Guan arrived, Wang Zi came out of the gate and greeted him with a smile. Guangong told him that he was looking for his brother. Plant said, "General, in the road drive, Mrs. Car labor sleepy, and please enter the city. The pavilion stage in the temporary rest for a night. The next day to board the road is not too late." Seeing that Wang Zi was very attentive, Mr. Guan invited his wife to enter the city. He asked his wife to come to the city. Wang Zi invited Duke to a banquet, but Duke refused to go. Zi asked someone to send the banquet to the post. Because of the hard work on the road, Duke Guan asked his wife to rest in the main room after dinner. He asked his followers to rest and feed their horses. The Duke of Guan is also relieved of his armor to rest. But Wang Zi called Hu Ban to listen to the order and said, "Guan Mo fled from the Prime Minister and killed the governor and the guards on the road. The death penalty is not light. This person's bravery is hard to beat. Tonight, you point 1,000 troops to surround the pavilion, one person a torch, to be 3 o'clock, all set fire. Do not ask who, all burned to death. I will also lead my own army to meet them." Hu Ban received the order, so he ordered his soldiers to move the dry wood and fire-raising materials to the door of the post, and then started the fire at the appointed time. Hu Ban thought, "I've long heard the name of Guan Yunchang. Do not know how to look like. Try to peep." He even went to the post and asked the postman, "Where is General Guan?" He replied, "The person who is watching the books in the hall, also there." Hu Ban dived to the hall before. See Guangong left hand-nicked beard under the lamp with a few reading books. Ban saw, lost his voice and sighed, "Really heavenly man." Gong asked Hu Ban into the worship said, "Xingyang governor engaged in the department of Hu Ban." Mr. Guan said, "Is it not the son of Hu Hua outside Zudu city?" Ban said, "Yes." The public called the follower in the luggage to take the book to pay the class. Ban read it and sighed, "I almost killed a good man by mistake." So he told him, Wang Zi is unkind and wants to harm General, so he secretly surrounded the post on all sides and set fire to the post at 3 o'clock. "Now, I will go to open the city gate first, and General will pack up and go out of the city in a hurry." Guangong was shocked, busy hanging on the horse with a sword, pleased a sister-in-law on the car, as far as possible out of the post. "I saw the soldiers are holding torches to wait." Guangong rushed to the edge of the city, only to see the city gate is open. Guangong urged the car to rush out of the city. Hu Ban also went to set fire to the city. When Guangong traveled less than a few miles, torches shone behind him, and men and horses rushed to him. Wang Zi shouted, "Guan Mo, don't go." Mr. Guan pulled up his horse and cursed, "You're a coward. I have no grudge against you. How can you set me on fire?" Wang Zi shot his horse and spear and ran towards Mr. Guan, but was cut in two by Mr. Guan's sword. The men and horses were dispersed. Guangong urged the chariot to move quickly and felt Hu Ban on the road. When he arrived at the head of the border of Shijiazhuang, someone reported to Liu Yan. Yan led dozens of riders out of the Guo to meet. Guangong immediately owed and said, "Taishou do not come well." Yan said, "Where do you want to go now, mister?" Guan said, "I left the Prime Minister and went to look for my brother." Yan said, "Zhuanda is in Yuan Shao's place. Shao is the Prime Minister's enemy. How can I allow you to go, mister?" Yan said, "In the past, I'd said that I would come." Yan said, Now the Yellow River crossing pass, Xiahou Dun's general Qin Che defended. I am afraid that the general will not be allowed to transition. Gong said, Taishu cope with the ship. How? Yan said, although there are ships, do not dare to cope. Gong said, I killed Yan Liang, Wen Shu, but also had to solve the problem with the foot. Today, ask for a fairy and not with, why? Yan said, I am afraid that Xiahou Dun will certainly sin me. Guangong knew that Liu Yan was useless, so he urged the chariot to move forward. When he arrived at the Yellow River crossing, Qin Che led his troops out and asked, who is coming? Guangong said, Hanshou Ting Ho Guan Mo also. Qin Che said, where do you want to go now? Guangong said, I want to throw Hebei to find my brother Liu Zhuandi. Respect to borrow the fairy, Che said. Where is the Prime Minister's official document? Duke said, I am not under the control of the Prime Minister. What official documents? Che said, I was ordered by General Xiahou, guarding the pass. You will be winged, cannot fly through, Mr. Guan was furious and said, do you know that I am on the road to kill the interceptors? Che said, you can only kill nameless generals, dare to kill me. Mr. Guan said, angrily, how are you compared to Yan Liang and Wen Shu? Qin Che was furious, and he took his sword from his horse and went straight for Guangong. The two horses met, only one, Guangong knife up, Qin Che head down. Guangong said, when my people are dead, the rest do not need to be scared away. Quickly prepare the boat, send me across the river. The soldiers hurriedly supported the boat along the shore. Mr. Guan asked his wife to get into the boat and cross the river. After crossing the Yellow River, Yuan Shao's territory was at hand. Guangong traveled through 5 passes and beheaded 6 generals. A later poem said, hanging up the seal and sealing up the gold to resign from the minister of the Han dynasty, I looked for my brother to return from afar. His horse rode the red rabbit 4,000 of miles, and his sword laid down the blue dragon at the 5 passes. Loyalty and righteousness rushed to the universe, and the heroes have been shaking the rivers and mountains ever since. The solo traveler should be invincible, and the inscription will be left between writing and ink in the present and the past. Guangong on the horse sighed to himself and said, I do not want to kill along the way, but things have to be. Cao Gong knows, I will be negative for the people carry on. While traveling, suddenly saw a ride from the north, shouting, Yun Long less stay. Guangong horse to see. Is Sun Qian also? Guangong said, since are you non parting, always knows how. Jen said, Liu Pai, Gonga since the general returned to the army, the recapture of Runan, sent a certain to Hebei to befriend Yuan Shao. Please Zhuandi together with the plan to break Cao. I do not want to Hebei generals, each jealous of the other. Jia Feng is still in prison. Frustrated Yuan has been dismissed from his post. Ji and Guo Tiyu are competing for power. Yuan Shao is suspicious and is not sure how to preside over the situation. I discussed with Liu Wangshu and sought a way out first. Now Uncle Wang has gone to Yunnan to meet Liu Pai Wentz. I am afraid that generals do not know. Back to Yuan Shao, or for the Han, specially sent a certain road to meet the future. Fortunately here to see. General can quickly go to Yunnan to meet with Uncle Wang. Guangong taught Sun Qian to meet the lady. Mrs. Guan asked him about his movements. Sun Qian prepared to say that Yuan Shao wanted to behead Wang Qi twice, but he was lucky to get away and went to run it. Mrs. can meet with Yun Chong here. Both misses cover their faces with tears. Guangong followed the advice. Do not throw Hebei to go, and take the Yunnan to come. In the middle of traveling, behind the dust, a puma rushed, when the first Shah Hudan shouted, "Guan mo stop." Exactly, 6 generals blocked Guan to die in vain, and an army blocked the road to fight again. After all, Guan gonged how to get away, and listened to the following decomposition.